Alright, I hope it's recording. Yeah, I think it is. Anyway, alright, I look like a complete idiot right now, and sorry about that. I guess, without further ado, welcome to the, I guess, worst channel on YouTube. Yeah. And I'm using an improvised POV rig I made out of some Gorilla Tape. But with that being out of the way, this is my 1988 Buick Reatta. I've done quite a few really bad POV videos of this car, but I figured I'd go ahead and do another one. I think this one should be a little better. It's really uncomfortable. But besides that, if you've never heard of a Buick Reatta, basically what it was put down my headlights. It was a, you'll see a little bit of me in the camera probably. It was a little Grand Tourer made by Buick in the 80s. 94 to, 88 to 90, I can't, 1988 to 91 was the years it was manufactured. It was a front-wheel drive V6 3800 V6 with a 3-speed automatic transmission. I'm not quite sure what the name of the transmission was that Chevy used in their 3-speeds. But it was a little Grand Tourer car. Made 180 horsepower, 210 foot-pounds of torque. 210 foot-pounds of torque was the number. And it's a pretty quick little car. Get to it as soon as I can turn. Get across this highway. I hate this highway. I hate it so much. Despise this highway. Get to where I'm actually driving it. Second leg cross. There's probably been multiple times I could have crossed. Gun it, get across there. And yeah, it handles pretty good. It drives and everything. Basically, what I would say this car's best comparison to would be probably it's Buick's Corvette. This car is Buick's Corvette. It handles phenomenally well. It does have a bit of float to it because it is a Grand Tourer car. It is a luxury car first and foremost. That's what it's designed to be. That's what it'll always be. Now, you can supercharge them and make them pretty quick, which they're pretty quick even without it. A lot of the magazines and stuff will say this car is not a sports car. I would have to disagree. This car is very nice to drive. It is very fun to drive, especially down these back roads, because it turns really good, it handles really good, it's very well grounded. The car is just a very good driving car. Sorry about the camera shaking so much again. This is very improvised. It is a piece of Gorilla Tape on my forehead while I go down the road, so so please keep that in mind. My dash is currently out, as I'm sure you see, but it does have a touch screen in it. To get to all my gauges, does have a touch screen in it. Control everything from that screen, which that was a very crazy feature in 1988. They eventually dropped it in 90. Don't know why, but in the 88 model year, 88 to 89, it has a touchscreen. Each model year has its a little different, because in 90 you get a convertible, 88 the glove box doesn't have a handle on it, but in 89 it does. So each model year is a little different. What's something else? Don't get in my lane. What's something else I could say about this car? Oh, I gotta take those off. And Yeah, it's a very sporty little car. I know I've said that multiple times, trying to find new stuff to say about it. Oh, something else. If you buy something like this and it has hubcaps on it, pull those hubcaps off before you buy it, check it. Because I was looking at this one, and this one was missing 3 lug nuts. Every wheel but the back driver wheel was missing a lug nut. So be sure to check that. I guess I'll get back to the performance. 0 to 60 time is about 10 seconds, I believe. 10, 12 seconds in this little car. It's not a fast car. It handles phenomenally well. It's really good on the highway. It does have a bit of floatiness to it. There is a bit of floatiness to it, but it takes corners really well. It's a short wheelbase. This car was a shortened Riviera platform. I think it's a W body, but don't quote me on that. The suspension is the same as what's on the DeVille. It is a dyno ride, I believe is what they called it. Basically meaning it's got coilovers in the front, air shocks in the back, and normally those will go bad. This one has not. I don't know if this one, for 100% sure if it has that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's like here. And the motor is great. What normally goes bad in these cars is the transmission for a 3800. Because the transmission, you probably saw my finger for a second, the transmission really wasn't all the greatest in the world. This one was put out of commission because it hadn't been driven for a little bit. The harmonic balancer eventually went bad, and I had to replace that. I've also replaced the water pump, the alternator. There are many parts on this car I have replaced. But other than that, that's just because it's a very old car. It's 33 years old. But other than that, it's a great car. Loads of people like this. If you want one of these and you want attention, this car gets it. Everybody I have met likes this car. Oh, like, wow, that thing's really cool. I remember when those came out, stuff like that. It's generally older folks, but still. Like even some people my age, when they see it, they're like, wow, what is that? It's so cool looking. People love this little car. I really do think this car is going to go up in value. They've already started to, probably in due part to the Doug DeMuro guy did a video like 3 months ago on these, and it got 1 million views. So you got to keep in mind that's hundreds of thousands of people exposed to this car that might not even have known what it was beforehand. So yeah, keep that in mind. So prices have begun to go up. I got this one for $2,100. It's got its issues. Like, I'm trying to fix the dash. I had to fix some things. The sunroof in this one, which that's a rare option, went out, and stuff like that. You're probably not going to find one with a sunroof in it. You're probably not going to find one with a sunroof in it. That's most likely not going to happen. What else? Oh, 4-wheel disc brakes all around, and this car's MSRP for it was really pricey. This car was like, it was like $58,000 in 1988. That's more than a Corvette. That's crazy. Somebody bought this car, or you could have bought a BMW or a Mercedes for that price in '88. So that touchscreen really had to be wowed by the touchscreen. Now, this car was supposed to be a halo car. It was supposed to be a door seller. It was supposed to be something you walked into the dealership, you saw that, and maybe you couldn't afford this one, but you're like, wow, and Buicks, they look so cool. They're like high tech and everything. And they were supposed to get you to buy one. So maybe you couldn't afford that one, but you could afford a Regal. So instead you went and bought a Regal. The prototypes for these were really cool. They were a they were a Cyclone engine in them. For some reason they never made them, probably because it was faster than a Corvette and they didn't want that. So Chevy was like, no. Wouldn't surprise me. That would not surprise me. Well, anyway, yeah, I think that's about everything on this car. So I probably already lost you, but if I haven't, no, what else can I say about it? Again, this car is pretty floaty, but hey, it is an old Grand Tour. It is an old Grand Tour car. It's got its flaws, but it's an old Buick. And if you get one with the dash out, it's a nightmare to fix. I don't know what's wrong with this one. I think it's some relays under the hood or either the central control. But it's a very fun car. I love this car. But I guess with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. If you liked it and you made it this far and you want to support the channel, the biggest way to do that is by commenting, you know, subscribing, liking, sharing the video with anyone who might be interested, that kind of stuff. And if you want to help the channel, then do all of that. But otherwise, thank you for watching and have a great one.